Hello everyone, and welcome back to Create Your Life Story, the best guide on the intertubes to help you record, edit and share life's memories with family in the world that has never been possible until now. And I've got some ideas to help you start today. I'm your host Ian Cath. This is episode 5. Audio recorders. You know, what you need, you may already have. Yes, welcome to episode 5, people. I've been going a few weeks now and things are starting to happen on the site. I've been still doing a little bit of tidying up on the site, making it look a little bit cleaner and a little bit better, changing things around, constantly modifying it so that it works better for you. I'm in the process of making some little videos to help you understand how it all works and to help you use it better. All these things that I'm doing so that it's just basically a better site and it's all laid out a lot better so that when you go to the site you can find things that you want. The site, of course, is createyourlifestory.com. Drop on over there sometime and say hello. And if you want to get hold of me, of course, it's chat@createyourlifestory.com. Anyway, we're not going to fluff on too much today. I don't have a lot of news because it's all about putting content out at the moment, and hopefully you are starting to discover it. And in due course, you'll let me know and we'll get things bubbling along with a bit of community. So as far as content is concerned, I thought I might explore something that I'm sure, because this is how I felt, is a little bit intimidating, and that's the whole concept of recorders and what you need as far as a little bit of the equipment to get this project underway. When I first decided that I was going to start my own podcast, I thought I need to have some way of recording it, and at that point in time I didn't have anything. And I thought, now what will I do? And it's a bit of an experiment. I'm not really sure how I feel about this. So I wonder if I can do it in the most cost-effective way without me having to both put in too much effort and also spend too much money. So I had an iPod. I think it was about the 3rd generation Nano. And I wanted to see if I could make it work. So I went out and I bought a microphone for it, which plugged in and recorded it in MP3 format. It only cost me $20 or $30, but I thought it was worth giving it a shot and seeing how it would go. So I bought it and plugged it in and did some recordings with it. I actually went away on a bit of a holiday with it and had some experiments with it and recording with other people. In the end, I decided that it wasn't the quality that I wanted in the situation whereby I'd be having a two-up conversation with somebody else. I thought I need something that would record in both a better quality, have better quality microphone, better quality audio recording capabilities, but also the ability to have microphones that I could then use to enhance the situation, because I could have each person mic'd up individually. So I decided to go out and buy a purpose-made audio recorder. What I did is I actually looked at my situation. I looked at my circumstances, the individual scenarios that I could see myself in, and I weighed up how much I was prepared to spend in order to achieve the best quality for that situation. This was an entirely individual decision based on my specific requirements. And that's what I think I'd like to encourage you to do, is look at your requirements and then ascertain what is the best things for you in your specific situation. And that will vary individually for everybody, because we all have different budgets, we all have different attitudes to what we call quality, we all have different levels of expertise with technical equipment, and we all have different ideas of what we call a decent end product. We all have to work out exactly what that is, so it's up to you to decide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a few ideas today of things that you can look into to start exploring, to start opening your mind, and then give you some more ideas to go out and do some research. I'll give you some links on the site, createyourlifestory.com, for this particular episode, where you can go and do a little bit more research into different types of audio equipment that might suit your needs. So I decided that I needed to upgrade, get away from that very basic iPod Nano with a microphone and have a few different levels of equipment. I decided to buy a little bit of studio equipment. So I've got a desk microphone in front of me right now with a little mixing desk and an interface to plug into the computer. That was for the studio side of things. And for when I'm out and about traveling, I decided that I wanted to have a half-decent recorder that I can plug some microphones into. They were my particular desires. But you will vary. And so the things that you need to look at is, well, let's look at recorders. Now, recorders come in many different forms, and we need to actually consider what a recorder is. Basically, a recorder is a way of getting audio down permanently so that we can then lift it off to do other things with it. We can have recorders that are an individual device that we carry around in our hand. We can have a recorder inside our computer. We can have a recorder of an older style, more like the old cassette players. And there are a few different types that we need to consider. And the way that we get the audio into those recorders is worth looking at. Let's look at, first of all, at computers. If you've got a computer in front of you right now, you have the ability with an editing program, an audio editing program, to simply add a microphone if necessary and be able to use that as a recorder. All the editing programs have the ability to put audio into them. An audio recorder that you could have available for you right this very moment could be sitting in front of you with your computer. All we have to do is look at how you're going to get the audio into it. Now, if you have a built-in microphone, that may be good enough, and it's worth experimenting with to see what the quality of that built-in microphone is. The problem with the built-in microphones is they're designed more for things like a Skype call, where you're having a conversation with somebody and it doesn't really matter if all the background sound is picked up because people are just listening at the intent of the conversation. With what we're talking about, picking up all that background noise could be a real nuisance. So you have to be a little bit careful about that. But if you've got a very quiet home environment, maybe the built-in microphone could be all you need. In which case, the audio program, something like Audacity, which you can download free and put on your computer, or if you've got a Mac, which would be GarageBand, you could use the microphone that is built into your machine and away you go. If you were to use a built-in microphone like I'm using right now, you'd pick up on all the background sound. You can hear there's a bit of background noise, a bit of hum. I'm very high-pitched, very sibilant. You can hear a lot of S's. Sweet 16 sounds pretty harsh, doesn't it? All this would require a bit of equalisation. Any background noises, anything that the neighbours do as they walk past, as I squeak my chair, as I thump the desk, all of that would be picked up. Mainly because I'm about 2 feet, about 60 centimetres away from the microphone. So the microphone is picking up the greater room noise. This would be quite a challenging situation, but it's certainly not impossible, and it's definitely worth considering. It's worth you having a bit of an experiment to see what it's like. You've got a ready-made inbuilt audio recorder already set up for you, and away you go, and you don't have to go out and do anything else. If, however, you want to put yourself into a different situation where you want to do the recording, maybe you've got a nice garden that you'd like to do the recording in, or maybe you'd like to go to visit somebody else to do the recording with them, you might want to take a portable recorder with you. Now, you could take your computer with you, and you could maybe plug a microphone into it, or use, like I said, the built-in microphone, but that's a little bit cumbersome. I find that when you're doing a recording with somebody else, the least amount of equipment that you have, the least obtrusive it is, and the more casual the conversation is. I find lapel mics particularly great for that because you can just clip them onto somebody's collar and the conversation starts and all the equipment is all off to one side and it's really all quite irrelevant. And everybody just chats away as though it's a normal conversation. But if you do want to consider getting out and about, portable recorders could be well worth looking at. Digital portable recorders have come a long way in the last few years. In the last 5 years, recorders like the Zoom H2 and H4 are just brilliant little machines. Edirol's got one, M-Audio has got one, Sony, all of the big makers have manufactured these things. Most of them have built-in microphones and most of them use SD flash cards for storing the audio.